have our intervention later. Sorry. Sorry.
Flip's been way too quiet lately. First, he tells the fans at InvestFest he doesn't do skits anymore. Y'all know, the ones where he's always fighting. Then just a week later, he's right in the middle of a fight at the parade in Brooklyn on Labor Day. Before that, he showed up to the pod with a bandage on his hand. He missed Joe's birthday. And now these not so cryptic tweets about his money. Stay tuned for a couple of Chatterboxx fam theories, because when you start connecting the dots, it might start to paint a picture that is bigger than just a parade scuffle.
I ain't gonna hit you with a prank, man. What you doing? How you doing?
Prank? Why would you do a prank?
No, you do. You don't.
I don't do pranks, bro.
You so full of
Now, before any of this, something else is going on with the pod. On the August 22nd episode, Melyssa Ford, as we know, disappears mid-show and hasn't been seen since. And I'm not saying the two situations are connected, but it just shows everyone on that couch is pushing the boundaries while Joe is ascending after that article in the New York Times and projected to be pulling in $20 million a year. It's like everyone is deciding to cut up. Like when you're having company over and the kids start showing their tails. Oh my goodness. But back to Flip. He's outside at InvestFest posting IRL videos, mingling with the fans, nothing unusual except for what comes right after he gets back home. Just days later, on the August 27th episode, Flip shows up on the pod with a bandage on his hand. Joe intros the pod with two key songs that Flip goes on to say, I know exactly what all this means. And then he's about to start unraveling and Parks is cracking up. Joe cuts him off. But it is Sitting on the Dock of the Bay by Otis Redding and Ben E. King's Stand By Me. Otis Redding, by the way, he is one of my all-time favorites. I grew up listening to his music Saturday mornings, cleaning. And if you haven't seen the Stax documentary, go check it out. It is a really good watch. Joe follows that up with a song called Rock the Boat. No, not the version most of y'all know by Aaliyah. This is by the trio called the Hughes Corporation from back in 1973. I believe there was a dance to it and everything. Mark and Parks both go, oh, I see we are on BS today. And Joe goes, this one really hits home. Shout out to the writer. Then comes the birthday talk on the August 29th episode. Flip tells Joe he's not going to make it to his party. He says he's got something else going on. But Joe cuts him off and asks about Milfy, one of the regulars on QueenzFlip network. Now, Flip is always around Milfy, so Joe bringing that up mid-conversation feels a bit interesting.
Like, if you're there, you're there. You're not, you're not. This ain't I don't have an RSVP link. No.
Remember, everybody was up in arms that Flip did not attend Joe's birthday party, but they had this conversation prior to his party.
Oh, it has nothing to do with that. It's some personal shit that's going on, man. I told you about it before when I couldn't talk about it.
Why would Joe be asking this in the middle of this conversation?
When I had my hand wrapped up.
Is everything good with Milfy?
Interesting. Was that Joe's way of like, don't make me say more words? Or was he just trying to get Flip to stop talking about whatever this situation was?
I should be out here tomorrow.
Well, I hope to see you there. If not, then maybe some other people will come.
Would Joe have been referring to Melyssa Ford? Let's go back to a prior conversation they had on the pod.
I'm gonna you up.
That nigga quiet as
Now, this was going back to the August 22nd episode where Mel went MIA mid-episode.
Why you gonna fuck me up for?
I can't. Why?
And if you've been watching long enough, you know right here, Flip is itching to just talk about whatever happened on that pod.
You just
You went crazy. Why?
No, stop.
Somewhere in between these episodes on August 27th, Flip tweets that there has been a hold placed on his account. Now, y'all know that is enough to send somebody over the edge, especially in this economy. And if you have a family, it seems like the universe is really putting Flip to the test, especially when he has been trying to stand on his own words for such a long time. But the universe is testing him. And then boom, Labor Day in Brooklyn at the West Indian Day Parade. Flip's right there in the middle of a fight. A guy walked by him and says, "You're not no celebrity."
Baby. Hi, be safe, all right?
How you doing, bro? You all right?
Yo. I ain't gonna lie right now, you not the celebrity.
The chatter going around is that this could have been a skit. And according to Hip Hop Is Real's channel, these two allegedly have had an interaction before. Oh my goodness. He has told us so many times he is done with the skits and even got called out on the pod by Parks.
I come up here for months, maybe years, talking about how the old thing you used to do, you don't want to be known for that no more.
And I love that they're having this intervention with their brother, their podmate, because sometimes you need that. You need the outside perspective to be like, you know, this is maybe how you need to move now.
Dude is obviously instigating something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he wanted a problem, and you gave him exactly what he wanted.
And I get it. He loves community and people, but at the level he's at now, if you don't change, you're only going to grow as big as the fish tank you're in. People are going to test your boundaries to go viral or say they're the ones that beat the brakes off you. And it's definitely not how it was back in the day. Fellas make these valid points on a few other episodes that I'm going to combine into this clip for you. Hopefully they let it ride and don't strike me for it. But in case they do, they're just talking about pretty much how social media has made everybody want to act out and do things to make them go viral, as well as the goal is to make it home at the end of the night. Let's listen.
Now, social media has taken it to where I could be worldwide as opposed to being local.
And how many times have we seen that you just can't take the bait?
It's the same endorphins. It's the same high that you get from hearing your name outside.
Got you.
I remember back in the day, the street dudes I used to hang out with would like run and hide if a camera came out.
They also wanted to go home to their families.
I never understood why a lot of celebrities put basketball courts and bowling alleys in their homes. And after seeing this, it makes sense. Even when Joe has his certain spots he talks about and that he goes to, it is starting to make so much sense. Flip, you can't be outside like that and not without security. I mean, what were they even doing? And I'm all for going to the parades. I miss them, the food, the music. Oh my goodness. I used to go to the PR and West Indian Day parades every year. I remember seeing Big Pun and Fat Joe, Brenda K. Starr, La India, Celia Cruz. Oh my goodness, it was a time. But as you get older, you start to realize being home sometimes is where it's at. Do you think after he saw the amount of people that recognize him from being on the JBP over his own network is making him act out like he's got something to prove? And you can see him digesting that in this clip.
This guy over here streaming and he be with Joe Budden. I'm like, oh, word.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up, bro.
Kinda.
In this moment, you could almost see all the work Flip has put in flash before his very eyes and see him thinking to himself, this isn't why I do what I do, which goes back to him wanting to be outside all the time doing the IRL. You can see in the Labor Day videos how he's just standing in the middle of the street, letting people come up to him. You know, his security isn't really tight. And that just speaks to him wanting to constantly hear his name, you know, people to applaud him, people to talk to him. He likes that experience. But what he doesn't like is to feel like somebody is giving him something, like this clip right here at InvestFest.
Yeah, sure. You know QueenzFlip?
Don't introduce me. Don't introduce me.
You know QueenzFlip is?
Don't introduce me.
I don't know what happened to Flip that he does not like this kind of stuff, but it gets really, really awkward. Watch.
I don't want no.
I'm trying to help.
You trying to help?
See, that's what happened. A black man trying to help another black man.
And the code in which Flip and so many of us live by is to not take anything from anyone. But if you don't realize, as I have in my big old age, that you have to have a network, you have to have a team, a community to be able to make moves in this world. You cannot do it dolo.
What your plan is? Bro, you accept the help. Both. We doing this together.
Every entrepreneur should protect at all costs
their pride and dignity.
I want to pause that frame so bad, but it hurts my heart to even look at it because on one hand, I understand he doesn't want to owe anybody anything, but the other side is they are really trying to help him and he's not wanting to accept it.
Every entrepreneur should protect their pride and dignity and live by morals and principles. You can answer the second.
I can't tell if that's a laugh for real or if that's a shaking my head.
Oh, man. What you should protect at all times is relationships.
Ooh.
Because when you extend your hand, some people might bite your hand off.
And that's the message that Flip needs to digest. Relationships are everything in this world. And he has got to want to network and make connections. He cannot go where he's trying to go on his own. If he could do it trying to work with Jerry Springer, why can't you do it within our community? Make those connections. What do you think is really going on with Flip and why he was behaving like this? Is it self-sabotage? Is this showing where his mindset is at right now? On the pod after Labor Day, Flip's energy is off. He's quiet. He's brushing things off with I got a lot going on right now. Then he perks up to make repeated comments on Ice Spice and Lotto's collab, talking about their bodies. To the point you hear him say, ISO on me.
Look at Mark's. Mark. Let's see what's hanging, huh? No, wait, stop. She got a fat ass.
That's not the usual Flip that I'm used to seeing on the perch. Maybe I have missed it before, which it makes me wonder, is something brewing at home or is he just acting out? Because I even noticed a few of his interactions at the parade. He was giving us fire intros just a few weeks ago, being a Mike, and he was on top of his game, but it seems like he has regressed right back into his old ways. So what do y'all think is going on with him? Because here's a couple more takes from our Chatterboxx fam. At Melee, Mark mentioned makes sense now. Flip and Mel really got into it, and I think Mel asked Joe and Ian to let Flip go. Since Flip isn't leaving, that probably explains why Joe and Flip have been having issues lately. That's one theory, allegedly. And the second one is, my take is Flip and her got into it and someone asked Joe to let the other go or else I walk, and he called a bluff. Now that would make complete sense given he introed that pod that I was talking about before with Stand By Me and Rock the Boat. Flip goes on to tweet later that he's almost at 1.3 million subscribers. Congrats, Flip. I know that takes a lot of hard work. And he follows that up with another tweet that says, why do y'all always compare people's journeys or say this could have been Flip? Like, my dreams or aspirations. My co-host work is for them and I support them 1000%. It shouldn't be comparison. It should be, the whole cast is grinding. And I agree. And that goes back to the point that I was making about how he is constantly being associated with the JBP and he wants to stand on his own, on his work that he's doing. And that's understandable. Later on, he goes on to tweet a couple of days later and he says, let me ask a question. I'm going through something personal. Do you guys expect JBP to lay me off? Do you guys expect me to just take my anger out on my co-host? Please be honest. Now, a lot of people in the comments thought that he was referring to a situation that could have happened up there because he follows it up with, this has nothing to do with Mel or anyone else. People said my energy feels off, and it is, but that's because I'm dealing with something personal. I'm handling it and I'm moving forward. So don't read too deep into it. I don't know. We might have to read between all these lines because when you start connecting the dots, Mel missing, how he was acting at InvestFest, the bandaged hand, missing Joe's birthday, the Labor Day fight, and those cryptic tweets, and then the not so cryptic one about his accounts being frozen, it does start to paint a picture. Are these isolated coincidences, or is there more going on behind the scenes with Flip? Could it be stress at home in addition to those frozen accounts? Could it be business? And why would you tweet about your money being frozen anyway? One thing's for sure, Flip changing up his energy on the pod is louder than words right now. Is it speaking to where his mind is at? Is it Flip just being Flip? And what does that even mean? All right, Chatterboxx fam, that's my take. This is where I'll leave it to you. Do you think Flip's just going through a rough patch, or is something bigger brewing? What do you think is really going on with Flip? Leave your theories in the comments and you might get your take featured in an upcoming video. Let's talk about it. Like, share, subscribe, and go check out my Patreon. Until next time.